Okay, November 11, 2023, market review. Took PM on Friday off. Um, the weekend, had some plans with the lady. That'll probably be common. Come back on the weekend and do my day review and then kind of look forward for the week. Bondland, sell side liquidity taken on both these. I don't know why that's gone over here. Still think we draw up into this sell side imbalance. SIBI here. Still expecting ZNZ to pull back into at least this gap here. This dark green. At least into here. Dollar closed at the top of this consolidation day while indices kind of went bonkers. I mean, I'm just going to continue to watch to see how the dollar reacts off this. If this holds as support, I'm thinking we're pulling up into this. What I should do is copy these over here. I think we could back up into this gap as long as we continue to hold this as support. I would not look at the dollar to stop here. I would think that we're at the very least wick back into this area. But if this holds as support, I'm thinking this is just a sweep of liquidity before we end up taking out these highs and eventually trading up into this sell side imbalance here. But one thing at a time. Like I said, I need to wait and see how we react here. If we do get below this and this starts to act as resistance, then I do think we're going to see quite a bit of an unwind. Know what this is. Yes, this order block here. We could see price come all the way back down to this breaker here, right? Higher high. Retest in here before we go higher, but this is the sell side imbalance to watch. Forex, I'm not even going to get on the weekly chart. Nothing to really look at. You can see Euro here continues to hold this buy side imbalance. Deep retracement here on the Australian dollar, but respecting the midterm of this order block. GBP generally weaker than Euro. Overshoots this. Still closes within, as we see here. Looked like it was trying to dip down. We do have some relative equal lows here now. This close isn't the most encouraging me. I don't pay attention to Forex a lot to know the ins and outs of this, but what I'll watch is here. Probably want to see a pretty sharp rejection out of here for bulls to feel good about anything. If we start to trade below this, I mean, we're swiping these lows. Below that, I would look for mid of this down close candle here. Closing in this buy side imbalance, probably wicking through into this lower one here, but 19261. If we get under here, if we continue to hold this buy side imbalance, I'm looking for a closure of here. This is a weekly SIBI. Maintain this immediate buy side imbalance. I'll look for price to pull up into here, into CE of this. I believe this is a weekly wick. If we lose this buy side imbalance, price is going to come back down into, I would guess, CE of this wick. And really, I would ultimately guess new lows, but at least CE of this wick. Indices will start on the weekly here. We have a May 1st. low, grabbed here, low of May. Really strong aggressive move off that. Their 60-day look back low. Take this higher. So we have a market structure shift, both of these assets. You can see we didn't take a weekly low here, but we dipped into a weekly buy side bounce. YM left relative equal lows, but we did take quite a bit of sell side liquidity on the way down here before, once again, market structure shift. Leaving a weekly buy side imbalance on these, and we'll look at these a little closer on the daily. Dollar pulls back into this wick here, holding that. Pretty nice reaction. That's why I'm watching that buy side imbalance on the daily. If that holds, we're still on a mission up here, which the dollar could execute and pull off while the indices, after 2 strong weeks, consolidate here or retrace into this buy side imbalance. Let's go daily. Okay. Get rid of these. Too many drawings, too many drawings. So immediate buy side imbalance holding, super bullish, high here, tagged, relative equal highs here. We did have news over the weekend. I don't remember what it was exactly. Something was downgraded, kind of significant, like the U.S. economy or something like that, which sounded bearish. So the open's going to tell a lot. Not 100% sure what we're going to do going into next week here. 2 decently large range weeks in a row, pretty bullish, I would expect. I'm expecting a retracement at some sort. Maybe we push a little higher into this sell side imbalance here. That's our next objective. There's a bit of a volume imbalance here, but this area I would guess gets closed in if we continue higher. Here's the weekly buy side imbalance. So this is a pullback into here. I could see us closing this in fully, to be honest. Dipping into here. This is a candle we will be watching long term. Really don't want to see price trade below this buy side imbalance here and below this candle's low. Ideally, we stay above in here. Same with the NASDAQ. These 2 candles here could wick down through into this buy side imbalance. Definitely don't want to see this traded to down here. Really above this volume balance, I'd like to see price stay there if we are to trade back. But I can't right now. I can't expect any sort of pullback or reversal or anything of that nature, given how strong this run is. You don't fade it until it gives you a reason to, and right now I'll continue to look for higher. So we do have these bodies here, very equal. Let's mark this up. It's another area. Sell side imbalance. We got a small one up here as well. So those are the next immediate objectives. On the weekly, you can see all the way up into 4494. Puts us at this old low here. Really, I would probably take CE of this wick. About 4,500. If we continue this pursuit, that's the next zone, I guess. Get through here, turn this as support, look for 4,500. NASDAQ push through here. CE, this wick's been tapped, so I would look for this high. Once we clear, closing off this sell side imbalance here. So up to what looks like 15,935. Let's get an accurate. 15,929. See a volume imbalance here. Could see price wick up through that as we close this out, which would be about 1,600 big figure. It's a spot that would make sense if we continue to run. I said the open will tell a lot. We get any sort of a gap down, we turn this sell side imbalance into resistance here. See price kind of consolidate below here. Then I'll start to look for a pullback. Same with ES. Anything, then we'd leave relative equal highs. That's what I'm kind of hoping happens is we get a gap down, price flutters, we pull back going into the end of November and then rip through them to close the month, closing on the high. It's ideally what I'd like to see, especially since the start of this month has just been a rip, right? We've got 2, 3 trading weeks left about, so I'd like to see a consolidation, maybe a pullback going into Thanksgiving week. Friday, resume the uptrend, finish strong on the month, maybe. I don't know. That's what I'd like to see, but YM, I don't know. This is the draw here, higher if we push higher. Otherwise, buy side and balance here, kind of the same setup. Let's go to the seasonality. I was looking within 20 days for this to get pierced. I did not think it would happen so fast. What I'm kind of, like I said, what I'm hoping is we gap down, maybe consolidate, leave relative equal highs right here, because I'd like to see this really push through 20-day liquidity. This is just tapped. We might even sit here and work it for a few days before pulling back, but we'll see. NASDAQ 1 hour, break it down. Outside down day, talked about this on Thursday evening, right here, right? Outside down day, bullish environment, not on YM, but generally a buying opportunity. What I wasn't sure is if it's a bullish environment on the macro that this has to be, or in the short term. And in the short term, this is giga bullish, and my question was answered. Current trend, immediate trend, bullish. Outside down day, bought up. We open here in this buy side and balance, deep discount relative to the weekly range. Price rips heading into the open, immediate rebalance, consolidation here right after the open, then an absolute ripper. We have 2 fair value gaps here. This is the one on the daily, the blue lines here. The blue line was the buy side liquidity. Actually, I'm going to end up taking these off. And then you see we blow through that and end up pulling up into CE of this. This is a, oops. What did I do this on? Maybe the 4 hour? Huh. I thought I was prepared. Guess not. Let's see. There we go. Okay, I accidentally just moved it. See, we almost closed this in here. Absolute monster week. Different layout a bit on NQ than ES, given that ES has been weaker. NASDAQ showed more strength. Makes sense. We get the low of week on Monday, high of week on Friday. Really not a lot of give and take through Monday and Thursday, followed by a ripper on Friday. 15-minute. Let's see. BISI here. Yeah, I may zoom in so you can see it. There. Completely closes it in. You can see here, heading into the morning, 6:30 starts. We run into 9:30. That's hours. Consolidate here for the better part of roughly an hour before price resumes its uptrend and ultimately goes to the target. I'm not going to spend much time on NASDAQ again. Let's go to ES. ES, daily fair value gap here. CE, buy side liquidity. Clears it. Highest high there. And now we've got sort of relative equal highs here as we push through a few times. Early morning rips, consolidates around the new week opening gap, 6 into 9 o'clock. I'll get a little more granular with that when we get down in the 5 minutes. I'll talk about that a little more. The time aspect. I really thought that this buy side and balance was going to get traded into, but since if you look at NQ, the layout's different, but NQ was in a deep discount going into the open, which is why I think we didn't see ES. It was pulling the market with it. The order of operations is rather important. But we see a rip here, market structure shift, dip down, buy side and balance in a discount, run into CE. 15-minute equilibrium, pull up, consolidate that, pull back, rip, rip, rip. And then real quick on the 5-minute here. 630 low into basically 2 hours here of a price run pretty much into the open. Consolidate and pull back an hour before starting our price run. Look, we worked back into the 9:30 a.m. news low. Lines up with equilibrium of this range. And then we launch. I don't know, didn't look at any fib extensions to see. -2.5 there. Sorry. -1.5 here. Let me put 2 of these on. These are the only 2 that really line up very close. Not bad. Pretty good, actually. I should actually get a screenshot of this. 1 second. Save as many examples as possible. Okay, let's get rid of these. Go down to the 1 minute. Market rips into the open here. 9:30 drives lower, leaves relative equal lows. Now, since we ran up into the open, the first hour or so is usually consolidation back and forth. It's not as clean. So you see here on the, we have a breaker that turns resistance. So yeah, helping me build the narrative for the morning. Breakdown going into our news release. Bam, 10 a.m. delivers us down. And then this, show you where we stopped here. What would have been the ideal target. That would have been a quick in and out there. Breakdown, SIBI, sell, target CE of the 5-minute wick. In and out. Consolidate on the wick, tons of back and forth, just taking out both sides. Ends up piercing these lows. Takes the 9:30 news low. AM session news low. Market structure shift. Buy side imbalance. Accumulate here. Launch 5-minute immediate. Buy side imbalance for bullish conditions. You want to see that. We didn't really begin our price run until 10:40, so at that point I was expecting price to run at least into noon. So you could buy here, looking for price to take this high, close in this at noon. That happens right there. Continues to consolidate. And then absolutely rips and launches at the end of the day. Once again, immediate buy side imbalance support. Then, I mean, we just ran into the close basically. Okay. Yeah, that's everything.